Good day, fellow bettors. Thank you for joining me for another video for your SERIE betting tips and predictions. Today, I will be sharing with you my predictions and the betting tips on the match result, the correct scoreline predictions, which you can use in turn to determine the expected number of goals for a particular game. Also, I'll be sharing with you tips on the handicap system. And for this year game week, we're going to start on a Friday all the way through to Monday of next week. And we're going to start here on Friday with Spezia versus Inter Milan. And for Spezia versus Inter Milan, I'm expecting Inter Milan to take care of business here. So Inter Milan to win. Saying both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline for me for Inter Milan. I'm expecting Inter Milan to win this game 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Inter Milan to win by a goal. Alright, based on my predicted scoreline, so Inter Milan to win by a goal. Let's just roll back up now, folks, and give you a quick recap for Spezia versus Inter Milan. And for Spezia versus Inter Milan, I'm expecting Inter Milan to win. I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline 2-0 in favor of Inter Milan, and that's $6.50 in terms of the odds. Now on the handicap side of the football, you have Inter Milan. We're going to take Inter Milan here to win by a goal, and that's $2.15. Now we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game will be Empoli versus Udinese. And for Empoli versus Udinese, I'm expecting this one to be interesting somewhat, and so therefore Udinese, they have been doing really well at home for the most part for this season, and so therefore them visiting Empoli here today, I'm expecting it to be somewhat different. Mind you, for me, in terms of a double chance, I go with Udinese to win or a draw in this game. So I'm going to take Udinese to win. And in terms of both teams scoring, I'm going to say no, that should not be the case. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'll say Udinese win this 1-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Udinese to win by a goal here. I'm going to take it a draw based on my predicted scoreline. Alright, so now we're just going to roll up and give you a quick recap for Empoli versus Udinese. Recap. Udinese to win at $2.50. Both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I say 1-0 in favor of Udinese over Empoli. In terms of the handicap side of the football now, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw based on my predicted scoreline, and that's $4.20 at the present moment here on Betway. Alright, so let's move on to our next game now, folks, and our next game will be Napoli versus Atalanta. And for Napoli versus Atalanta, I am expecting Napoli to win here. Both teams to score. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying here we should have a 2-1 victory for Napoli. On the handicap system now, folks, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a draw basis being Napoli winning by a goal. So just give you a quick recap here now for Napoli versus Atalanta. I'm expecting Napoli to win this game at $1.66. Expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I say we should have a 2-1 victory here for Napoli over Atalanta. And in terms of the handicap system, I'll go ahead and take a draw based on my previously predicted correct scoreline. Alright, so that's how the cookie crumbles for Atalanta versus Napoli. Now we're going to move on over to Bologna versus Lazio. And for Bologna versus Lazio, I'm expecting Lazio to win here. Mind you, the possibility of a draw is very possible. So I'd say so Lazio to win, expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying we're going to have here a 2-1 victory for Lazio over Bologna. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw basis being Lazio winning by a goal, as you can see in my predicted scoreline here. So let's just roll up and give you a quick recap now, folks. For Bologna versus Lazio, I'm expecting Lazio to win at $2.40. I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of a double chance, I'd say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Lazio over Bologna, and that's $9. In terms of the odds, on the handicap side of the football now, we're going to go with a draw basis being Lazio winning by a goal. Alright, and that's $4 in terms of the odds currently. Alright, so that's how it quickly crumbles for Bologna versus Lazio. And now we're going to move on over to Lecce versus Torino. And for Lecce versus Torino, I'm going to take a draw here, and I say both teams to score. In terms of correct scoreline prediction, I'm going to go for a 1-0 draw here. And in terms of double chance bet, I'll go ahead and I'll say I'm expecting a draw and under 4.5 goals in this game, right? So let's just roll up and give you a quick recap for Lecce versus Torino. I'm expecting this game to end in a draw, and I'm expecting both teams to score as well. In terms of my correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we should have a 1-1 draw between Lecce and Torino. In terms of a double chance bet that you could go with, I'll go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total for this particular game, Lecce versus Torino. Alright, so that's how the cookie crumbles for this game, and now we're going to move on over to Cremonese versus Fiorentina. And for Cremonese versus Fiorentina, I'm going to go here and I'm going to take Fiorentina to win. It's not going to be easy though, and I'll say both teams to score. In terms of combination bet, I'll go with either team to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I say Fiorentina wins this 1-2-1. Otherwise, I think this game ends in a draw. In terms of handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a draw, basis being Fiorentina winning by a goal. Alright, so let's roll back up now, folks, and give it a recap for Cremonese versus Fiorentina. I'm expecting Fiorentina to win this game at $1.85. Also, I'm expecting both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'd say either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline 2-1 in favor of Fiorentina over Cremonese, and that's $8.50 currently. In terms of the handicap system here in this game, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw, basis being Fiorentina winning by a goal, and that's $3.60. If that should be this, that should happen. Alright, so that's how the cookie crumbles from my end for Cremonese versus Fiorentina. Now we're going to move on over to Hellas Verona versus Monza. And for Hellas Verona versus Monza, I'm expecting a draw here between these two teams, and I'll say both teams to score. And in terms of correct scoreline, I'm expecting to have a 1-1 draw here. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total for the game. And pretty much that's how the cookie crumbles for this game. And so for a recap for Verona versus Monza, I'm expecting this game to end in a draw, and that's $3 in terms of the odds if this game should end in a draw. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, that should be the case. In terms of a correct scoreline prediction, I'm going with a 1-1 draw here between these two teams, Verona and Monza. And in terms of a double chance, I'd go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total for this particular game, and that's $3 currently. Alright, so that's how it goes for Verona versus Monza. Now we're going to move on over to Roma versus Sassuolo. And for Roma versus Sassuolo, I'm expecting also that this one should end in a draw. Roma have to be careful. It depends on how things go in Europe for them this week. Then they might end up losing this one. Hopefully not. So I'm going to take this quick in a draw here between Roma and Sassuolo. Sassuolo taking their time and gently finding their way back. So a draw, both teams to score as well. And in terms of correct scoreline, I say we're going to have a 2-2 draw here between Roma and Sassuolo. In terms of double chance, I go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total. In terms of the handicap system, I won't have a bet in that because I have a draw here. Alright, so I'm just going to roll up and give you a recap here for Roma versus Sassuolo. And for Roma versus Sassuolo, I'm expecting a draw. That's $3.50 if we should have a draw in this game. In terms of both teams scoring, I'm saying yes, that should be the case. Predicted scoreline, I'm expecting a 2-2 draw between Roma and Sassuolo, and that's $15 if that should happen. In terms of a double chance bet, you could go with a draw and under 4.5 goals in total for this game, and that's $3.60. Alright, so that's how the quick crumbles for Roma versus Sassuolo. Now we're going to move on over to Juventus versus Sampdoria. And for Juventus versus Sampdoria, I'm expecting Juventus to handle business here, Juventus to win. Both teams are not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying Juventus wins this one 2-0. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Juventus to win by a goal here. Alright, so let's roll back up now, folks, and give you the recap for Juventus versus Sampdoria. For Juventus versus Sampdoria, I'm expecting Juventus to win this one at $1.33. Also, I'm expecting both teams not to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll say either team to win and both not to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm expecting Juventus to win this one 2-0, and that's $5.50 if that should happen. In terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take Juventus to win this game by a goal, and that's $1.95. So alright, and this is how I see Juventus and Sampdoria playing it out. And so we're going to move on to our next game, and our next game will be our final game for this year game week, and it is AC Milan versus Salernitana, and for AC Milan versus Salernitana, I'm expecting AC Milan being at home to handle business against here Salernitana, but they have to be very careful. Salernitana has been very stubborn of late, and so therefore, as a result, I'm expecting both teams to score. So AC Milan to win, both teams to score. In terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. Predicted scoreline, I'm saying AC Milan wins this one 2-1. Otherwise, if Salernitana were not being that stubborn, I would have taken AC Milan to win 3-1. So AC Milan to win 2-1 and both teams to score. Alright, in terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a draw basis being AC Milan winning by a goal. Alright, so let's just roll up and give it a recap now, folks, for AC Milan versus Salernitana. And for AC Milan versus Salernitana, I'm expecting AC Milan to win. And I'm expecting both teams to score as well. And it's $2.20 for both teams to score here currently. And in terms of a double chance, I'll go with either to win and both to score. In terms of the correct scoreline prediction, I'm saying we have a 2-1 result here for AC Milan over Salernitana, and that's $9. If that should happen, in terms of the handicap system, I'm going to go ahead and take a draw basis being AC Milan winning by a goal, and that's $3.75 here now, folks. Alright, so let's just look at this again. This is our final game here, AC Milan versus Salernitana, and so pretty much that's how this game week sums up for me from my perspective in terms of my predictions and tips. And once again, I must thank you for watching, and as usual, I wish you best of luck, Bethan. Have a great weekend and a profitable one.